What's up, y'all? Flamesy back at it again with another video. Today we're going to be reading through chapter 14 of Genesis. Yeah, let's get right into it. In the days of Emperor king of Shinar, Arak king of Esnar, the title king of Galim, those kings made war with Bern king of Sodom, Bishar king of Gomorrah, Shinab king of Abdamah, Shemer king of Zubalim, and the king of Belam, that is Zor. And these joined forces as the valley of Sodom, or Siddim, that is the Salt Sea. 12 years they had served Chad. Hold up. 1 sec. 12 years they have served Chedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they were built. In the 14th year, Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him came to the defeated Rephaim and Ashtaroth Canim, the Zunim and Ham, the Enim and Shaliv Kirithaim, and the Hortes in their hill country of Seir as far as El Paran on the border of the wilderness. Then they turned back and came to En Mishpat, that is Kadesh, and defeated all the country of Achmoites and also the Amorites who were dwelling in Nazan Tamar. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeobim, and the king of Bela, that is Zor, went out, and they joined the battle in the valley of the Siddim with Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, Shadow king of Godim, Anphil king of Shinar, and Arak king of Elasar, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of Bimon pits as the king of Sodom and Gomorrah fled. Some fell into them, and the rest fled to the hill country. So the enemy took all the possessions of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their provisions and went their way. They also took Lot, son of Abram's brother, who was dwelling in Sodom, and his possessions, and went their way. Then one who had escaped came and told Abram the Hebrew, who was living in the oaks of the Mamre the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and of Ener. These were allies of Abram. When Abram heard that his kinsmen had been taken captive, he let forth his trained men, born in his house, 318 of them, went to pursue as far as Dan. So 318, kind of like, One Piece, Big Mom's army. How it's all your kids. I guess that's kind of like how Abram is. They divided his forces against them by night, he and his servants, and they defeated them and pursued them to Hobah, north of Damascus. Then he brought back all the possessions, and also brought back his kinsman Lot with his possessions, and the women and the people. Abram blessed by Melchizedek. After his return from the defeat of Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him at the valley of Shaveh, that is, the king's valley. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a priest of God the Most High, and he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram by God the Most High, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed by God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. And Abram gave him 1/10 of everything. And the king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the persons, but take the goods for yourself. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted my hand to the Lord, God Most High, processor of heaven and earth, and that I would not take a thread or a sandal strap or anything that is yours. Lost, you may say. I have made Abram rich. I will take nothing for what the young men of Eden and the share of the men who went with me. Let Ener, Eshcol, and Mamre take their share. So I noticed he said Abram gave him 1/10 of everything. That's kind of like how people are supposed to pay a tithe to the church. They're supposed to, put 10% of your income. Like, that's what, in general, you're supposed to give 10% of your income to God. And honestly, I need to start doing that again. I used to do that. When I was younger, and maybe I should get back to that. But yeah, I'm pretty tired, honestly, so sorry, you know, if I sound like kind of low effort today. Also, it was pretty hard to pronounce, like, a lot of the things that they were talking about while reading. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Really, because I don't really have much to say, today. But I do notice that we are talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, so, you know, if you know this, if you know, you know. But yeah, thank y'all for, watching. Appreciate it. Love y'all. Peace.